Wine Wednesday, everyone. Woo woo. Cheers. I am drinking my grape juice. So for those who know, you know. No, last week I chatted about my DUI and what that was and what that looked like and how I had progressed so much from that moment. And just to shed some light and give some hope, I wanted to share a story about myself that is completely not something you're very proud of by any means. I mean, it's nothing you're proud of, but you can make right from your wrongs. And so that's the whole reason for these podcasts. And I want to let you know too, the Wine Wednesday is simply about One Hope Wine. One Hope Wine gives back 10% of their profit goes to a charity of your choice or their choice. And so I figured it would be so important to gift someone and help further a cause. You know, I have always been about giving back. It's my heart's desire. It's what I do. It's why I'm put on this earth. There's no greater reward for me than to know that I'm giving something. So to just share these experiences with you, I hope it brings light to whoever's watching. I also hope that, you know, with the One Hope Wine, some big news is happening there too, guys. So stay tuned for that. But to know that you're giving somebody a gift and then that gift is furthering somebody else and going further it's just like a win for everyone. So I love it so much. So that is why I have Wine Wednesdays. Wine Wednesdays is purely to support One Hope Wine. In addition, for every guest that comes on my show that gets to have a bottle of wine with me from One Hope Wine, I drink the juice, they drink the wine, everybody wins. So anyway, I just wanted to give you a brief scenario of why I do One Hope Wine. So tonight I wanted to share with you more about my story. So the first couple weeks I have some amazing guest speakers that are going to be attending, and I cannot wait to share with you who's attending next week. But I will save that for another time. So right now, I just wanted to share with you a little bit about me because, as you know, last week I spoke about my DUI and that situation, and I just really, this podcast is just to really bring hope and give people comfort in knowing that it's great to be transparent. There are things that none of us are proud of in our life. I mean, that goes without saying. But we can always choose to make good out of the bad. And sometimes the most beautiful things in our entire life are so significant because of the storms that we went through, the rough times where we just got our butts beat and we didn't understand why sometimes, and sometimes we knew. We brought these things on ourselves. You know, it's funny, but that's life. That's what we do. We go through life and we're trying to make good of the things that we want, and we hit rough patches, and then we have to pick ourselves up and get after it again. You cannot quit. You can quit on businesses that you know aren't going to succeed. You can quit on things, friends, family members, anything that is not bringing value and you know that it's just not going to grow. Those things, fine. But never, ever, ever, ever quit on yourself. Do not stop believing in what you desire. So I just wanted to share with you, I've been through a lot, like all of us, and I thought, well, you know what? Transparency is the biggest deal nowadays because nobody's transparent, it seems like, or we're afraid to be, which is understandable. I sometimes can't even believe I'm up here having these talks. However, I know the importance behind it. So I had shared a little brief scenario on another part of my life that was something I was very ashamed of for a very long time. And I shared it on my story, and then I was like, you know what, that should be saved for the podcast because people may need to rewatch this. People may need to hear it again. People may not like it. I don't know, but I figured it's important for me to get the message out of why I'm sharing this story. So I didn't graduate high school, guys. And for a long time, it made me feel so bad. But then it didn't. It was weird. I got my GED, and I was so proud because I scored the second highest in the state here. And I went home to my parents and was like, you raised a genius. I told you, I was telling you all the time. I didn't need school. I was already smart. However, the truth is that education is prime. But if you saw a post I made the other day, You mustn't confuse education with intelligence. I went through school and I love people. I'm fascinated with the way people think, how they operate. I try to make the most out of every relationship that I've had, and I just value people. Sometimes friends of mine would even say, well, you're too trusting, you're too nice, you're too this, you're too that. Well, it's true. But there's certain things about you that you can't change. And there's one thing that I will never change, and that is giving people the benefit of the doubt. I always feel like everybody deserves the benefit of the doubt. Now, if you prove me wrong time and time again, yes, then that's on me. But I think everybody deserves a fresh start, and a first impression is important. But you know what? We all get the benefit of the doubt because we all are human and deserve to be trusted until we can no longer be trusted. So I learned a lot about relationships and people and how to work with people and how to just... And I think that for me, because I missed class to have friends, I had friends on every off period. I think that it helped me in the future because I then was able to be relatable, be understanding, learn how to work with certain people, because at the time I didn't know that's what that was doing for me. But later in life, I mean, people, kindness goes a long way. Kindness and being genuinely kind, not having an agenda, it goes a long way. And I learned different personalities, and I'm not a genius. I still am learning. But what that did for me at a young age helped further me where I am today. And where I am today, gosh, I mean, life is crazy. So it was a time in my life where I was ashamed, but I look back now and I'm so thankful for what I had turned that into. You can take the hardest times in your life, the roughest moments, the times where you think, oh my gosh, what is wrong with me? Or how does this happen? And you can make the most beautiful thing out of that. And I went on to do great things. You know, again, a DUI doesn't define you. Not graduating, that doesn't define you. That doesn't mean that you're not smart. School isn't for everyone. I actually, half of my mentors and the people that I talked to never even stepped foot in college. After they were done with high school, they were just done. They just were on their way to doing their thing. And so I encourage people to follow their passion, whatever that is, because great things are achieved when you have your mind set, when you have your mind set on what it is that you want in your life and how you can make that happen. Nothing can stop you. Nothing. So I sit here today, and I mean, honestly, guys, my stories are nuts, but you're hearing a lot of them already off the gate. But I sit here today because I can fully say that I've always wanted to be relatable. I've always wanted to understand people at a level that helps me know certain things and feel certain things about where they're at in their life, because I have I'm just very empathetic. And in order to do so, how do you reach people if you haven't gone through it? You can't fully understand what someone's going through if you haven't walked in those shoes. So a lot of things that I brought on myself were blessings because it showed me I'm not going to judge that person. Nope. You know what? Who am I to judge? Geez, I've been through so much already. And, you know, yeah, I love staying healthy. I like to look good. I like to feel good. I like to build relationships and see people's lives change and partner with charities and partner with companies that give back. I mean, yeah, I love all of that, but I am not ever going to be that person that's like, dang, that person's an idiot. No, we all go through things. If you continue to make the same mistakes and you're not seeing what you're doing, then maybe you need to do some more digging inside. But again, I've been there. So, me too is a slogan I see often, and I honestly, every time I see it, I'm just like, yeah, me too, because I've been there. So, my hope for this one tonight is again to remind you that your failures in life, they're lessons. There's always something you can learn from your mistakes, always. And you can take what you learned and you can create something that is so big, that will help so many, that will help you. And you can make that your life, and that becomes your brand, and that's how you live your life, and that's how you inspire others, whoever it may be. So I hope tonight was good. I hope you had a good time listening to me talk. But I'm going to end tonight with just to keep trucking, no matter what.